Welcome to Road to Billions podcast, the mentality of an entrepreneur. With your host, Moise Bertrand.
It is your host, Moise Bertrand, the Road to Billions podcast, man. It's been an amazing journey, you guys, for tuning in and listening. I want to say I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart for listening on every episode that's been going on. Like I constantly say, feedback from just like older gentlemen, from older women, from younger generations, from my peers, from my colleagues, from my business partners. They constantly urge me to continue to put these podcast episodes out there because people are actually grasping the information and using it into their daily lives. And that's what I like to hear, man. I like to be able to give my personal experience and all the trials and tribulations that I've been through in life because as you guys could see and as you guys know, if you guys listen to my other episodes, I'm not perfect. And I made a lot of mistakes, not only as a man, but as a business owner. And, that just comes with time. But, I constantly remind myself that I'm an entrepreneur and that a lot of people are motivated by my story because it's not easy being an entrepreneur. And a lot of people told me and asked me in the past, like, how did you become an entrepreneur? How did you know what to, quote unquote, specifically do in entrepreneurship? And, it was a big question I had my whole life because I always search for answers all the time. Like I'm a very philosophical type person. Like I like to go look for answers. I like to look for the deeper meaning in things. And when I was growing up, like I told you guys before, I was influenced by business because my mom was an entrepreneur. And I seen her, working for herself, and I never seen her go clock in for another job. And she always told me the importance of just like having your own. Like, don't let no man tell you what to do. Don't let no man tell you to come in at 9 a.m. Don't let no man tell you can't get no days off because you grinding for these days off. So how could somebody tell you what to do? You feel me? And, I didn't really know like what exactly I wanted to pursue in entrepreneurship because I had multiple businesses. Like my first business was at 14, so forth. And the only way I was able to find out like my true gift, my true purpose was just by going with the emotions, going with the feeling of what makes me feel good at that very moment and what I see when I see it actually grew. So the two things that I noticed that I was very good at was communication and sales, right? And I have a very analytical mind where I could just look at things, I could process it at a faster pace than most people. I believe so. And I think outside the box because my whole life I had no choice but to think outside the box. Like an entrepreneur, you got to learn how to make money. And then your mind just, it just, for some odd reasons, like, okay, someone who works a job may not have a entrepreneurship mind. That doesn't mean the person isn't smart. It just means that person is just directed to live and think one way because that's what their life is about. Like they may just be an engineer, so all they know is engineering. But as an entrepreneur, you may need to know finance, data, marketing, sales, just knowing how to put together paperwork and profit. There's a lot of this things that someone who may not need to worry about those things, you have to worry about them. And when I was, like I said, giving my run of money into different businesses, I felt that the passion I had was just being very communicative and also being a salesman, but also noticing that my voice made a change in everybody I spoke to. And I took that gift and I ran with it, and I pretty much dived into real estate, into some other ventures as well. But the foundation of my passion was just understanding that the gift I had was in my tongue. The gift I had was in my mind. And I brought those two together. I brought the communication together, and I brought the mindset together, which was, my analytical mind. And what makes that different? What makes that different from the other man who says he has the same thing? Well, everything in life is, everybody has the same gifts, right? But everybody's gifts is different in a unique way, if that makes sense. And I may just say like my gift specifically was in business and was just in general population, meaning I could speak to the masses and I could get them to do things I felt like I would do. And it's not because I feel like I'm a very influential person. It's not that because I have anything different from anybody. I just believe what I'm saying is true. And I visualize the things that I'm saying actually becoming true. And that's what I feel like I'm a very powerful manifester because growing up, I never had the opportunity to really work a job. I always thought about like having my own businesses that failed. I opened up more businesses that failed. So I was always constantly trying to learn what worked and what didn't. But the passion I had was for business, right? I love the business. I love doing business. I love failing. I love getting back right. I love getting money. I love losing money. I don't like losing money, but the whole dynamic of I could do this for the rest of my life, that very moment I knew business was for me. Because when I worked the job a few years ago, like, it was cool. It was never nothing wrong. Like, I don't ever tell nobody not to get a job. Like, it was a few times I contemplated about just telling people to get a job, even though they was an entrepreneur. But I had to be the person to say, man, listen, we're going to thug it out, bro. You feel me? We're going to thug it out. And the reason why I never really pursued a job was because when I had a job at the moment, my manager, like in college, she told me some real shit. She was like, listen, man, like, she was like, you're a very intelligent man. Like, I see you on Instagram. I see you doing business. Like, just see where it's going to take you at. You don't got to, like, you're very smart, Moist. Like, understand, like, if you ever need a job again, you here. Like, if you ever need to go to school, you can always give somebody a call, and then you'll be right into the program. So you never really had any, you always had a plan B, C, D, F, but I never wanted to have those type of plans. You get me? And I feel like as a person who is very visionary and very just ambitious, your only way of finding out what your passion is what makes you get up every morning, what makes you interested in it. Because I could look up real estate all day. I could look at houses all day and just get, like, amazed and excited every time I walk into a house that smells like mildew and I know I'm about to redevelop it and fix it up. I love when I get people into the house after they see the house, after I renovate it after 30, 45 days. I love it. I love going through the lender process of getting application. I love just finding out the details and numbers. I just love the whole aspect of real estate and business itself. And then, on the other hand, some people may just love being a nurse, and they love helping people. They love going to the hospital. They love administering meds and doing those such. So you as a person, you know what you want to do. I get tired of people who say, I don't know what I want to do with my life. You know what you want to do. You haven't explored too many options, but your inner self is telling you, John Doe, bruh, you're a really good artist. It could be music, it could be musically, it could be physically, it could be anything, but your passion, your gift is what's going to make riches for you. Because a lot of people sleep on their gifts. A lot of people have, like I talked in these other episodes, $1 million talents. And you guys let these corporations just override you because you feel like the person at the top of the food chain, you got to go get them. Or somebody your same age is doing something way far, like, down the line, then you can't really see yourself at the finish line because they already are doing amazing things. Start off small, you guys, because like I mentioned before, I didn't have the answers figured out, and I still am figuring out answers every day because I'm just 25, but I'm always looking for the deeper understanding of life. And passion just comes from what makes you, like I said, get you excited. I could talk about real estate forever. I could tell you guys about how to buy a house from A to Z. I could tell you guys how to renovate a house from A to Z. I could tell you guys how to refinance a house. Everything that you guys want to know about real estate, I could teach you guys that. And I'm also continue learning because it's just something that's so thorough. You can never learn real estate for real, like all 360. But that's what pushes me, that I know I love. Just the admiration of the whole system, the whole industry. And I tell people do the same thing. Like, if you're a great cook and you love cooking, and then you constantly are cooking for people, and people, man, you need to open up. Like, that could be God or an omen telling you, listen, try to sell some plates. I had a friend of mine sell some soy sauce. I never ate it before. That's a Miami thing, Bahamian thing I heard. And then she was always complaining about, like, not having a second job, right? Her second job, the first job she has wasn't paying enough because obviously she was starting inquiring about a second job. And we was like, nah, man, just go ahead and, sell some of your plates, even though that sounds like so banal, like everybody's doing it, quote unquote. Go do it because you don't want to compare what you're doing to someone else because that's all that going to make you fall off. You feel me? Once you see somebody else doing something and you trying to compare, that's a thief of joy. So we told her, go ahead and cook and then go ahead and sell those plates. And Lord knows, like, she made $500 her first day, and then she made that every day for a whole week straight, made more money than she ever did in a week than she did at her job. And she was like, what the F? And we was like, yeah, this is your gift. This is your passion. This is what is going to create the road for you down the line, but you have to know how to implement new things. And once you find your passion, you guys, you got to continue to stay at it. You got to be consistent at it, because not every time I'm going to always wake up and have a real estate deal. Not every month I'm going to close on a house. Not every month I'm going to make money on real estate. But I do know that tomorrow is another day, and it's promised if I continue to live like that, if I visualize myself like that. Although the whole thing say tomorrow's not promised, I feel like tomorrow's promised when your purpose isn't fulfilled. Once your purpose is fulfilled, then I can understand like tomorrow may not be promised. But I feel like if you if you urgently feel like God or whoever you praise to, you have a bigger mission on here on earth, in this country, then your purpose will never be fulfilled until you actually fulfill it. And you're only going to know your purpose being fulfilled if you have a great time doing it with little effort. Like, the thing that you do the best with little effort, that's your passion. You need to take that and you need to double down on it. If you're not sorry, you guys, stocks, Forex, Bitcoin, all these guys who know how to do these crazy crypto things, that's a skill set. That's a passion. Because some people can't really sit there and watch charts all day. Some people can't really know how to swing trade. Some people don't know how to do option trading. I know how to do that, but I'm not passionate about that. Some people could wake up every morning and do that, which is cool. But then again, you guys are seeing how I'm comparing the livelihood of everybody. Like, they're making money so easy, but it's so easy to them anyways. So it doesn't seem like they're having to learn, they're having to lose out on things because this is their passion. The same thing goes for people who want to go ahead and be chefs. Great knowledge in being a chef because you have to understand the whole mixtures and everything of food, spices, sauces. But some people naturally have a talent to know what tastes good. Like, they could just mix freaking pepper, garlic, and some butter, and that shit is going to taste like crazy. You feel me? And that's a natural talent. But once you notice that more people are actually giving you grace and giving you credit for the things that you're doing that you didn't even know you were capable of doing, that's the thing you need to focus on. I had a young lady. She's actually going through different applications and stuff like that, but she's doing marketing and stuff like that alongside me. And shout out to her, man. She's doing a hell of a job. She's doing a hell of a job, man, like I mentioned. And she was like, man, I don't know what I want to do. I said, listen, this is what you need to do. Because you can sit on your computer for an hour or even less, probably three times out the week and make this type of money. Imagine if you open your own business. Imagine if you just spearheaded the goals that you wanted for yourself. You could do everything you put your mind to, people, because I did it and I'm doing it. And I really don't have no fear about failure because I feel like failure is just another thing to say, try again, Mo, And I don't really look at people who failed like a failure because I'm like, I failed multiple times and I almost gave up. But the only thing is that's going to separate a winner from a loser is the winner tried it one more time. And that one more time might be the last time, and that last time might be the rich time. You feel me? They might hit their biggest payout day because they tried one more time. Imagine if you were going to get signed to a record label, but you said, man, I ain't dropping no more music. And the person like, well, he ain't dropping no more music, so next artist. You feel me? So it was like you constantly have to be consistent with the work ethic, with the purpose, with the vision, with the mindset, with the positive thinking, with the affirmations, because we are constantly in a state of change. As you guys can feel, the vibes of the country is changing a little bit. I don't know if you guys can feel the frequency, everything just a little bit out of shape. It feels like we're in a matrix a little bit. And I'm very sensitive to things like that, So I feel like this is actually a turning point this year for a lot of people to really dive into their more spiritual gifts and their gifts as a whole, as either a business person, as a teacher, as a psychologist, as a counselor, whatever industry you're doing, as a mailman. If that's your passion, don't let nobody knock you, because that's what's going to make way for you. And I feel like in any industry, in any type of career, you can actually make a dominant killing in it if you know what you're doing and what you want to do with it. Some people are okay with being passive, but I've never been okay with being passive. I've been a person that says, okay, if this is what I can learn, how can I make money from it? How can I monetize it? Some people, they don't want to make money from anything they do, which is cool. But money runs the world, you guys. So I constantly tell people, you don't got to sell it, but somebody's going to buy it. It may not be from you. It may be from somebody down the street that's doing the same thing as you. If you're selling shirts, you want to give out shirts for free, cool. Somebody going to see you selling them same shirts. They're going to up the design, and they're going to sell it, and then boom, they're going to make some money off of it. You get me? But the passion, the difference is because that person's doing it for money, they may burn themselves out. You're doing it because you're passionate about seeing people and your fashion on people's backs and shirts. So what you need to do as a person is perfect the craft, and then you start charging for it. Sell the knowledge. Don't let nobody shortcome you because they feel like, oh, you don't really know what you're talking about. You're an imposter. And a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome, which I did in the past. And I just got that shit out of my system because I noticed I started giving people my age and a lot older than me advice about real estate. And I've been doing this for a few years because people obviously, they see me doing real estate, but some people don't fathom that a dude my age could do it. And I'm like, it's a bunch of other dudes my age doing it on a larger scale. I'm just not paying attention to them. but this is my passion. So if I'm trying to bring you into real estate, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to really give you everything I know because I love this shit. You feel me? I love real estate from the bottom of my heart. It changed my life. So when I tell you guys, wake up in the morning, just figure out what makes you get up in the morning. If you hate your job, if you feel like you got to get up and you don't even want to talk to your boss, you don't want to get on a Zoom call, you hate your coworkers, your job is causing you problems, sorry, that ain't industry for you. And it's sad because I know so many of my friends who actually went into careers that they hate. And as cliche as that sounds, like, why would you go into a career that you hate? No one really knows what they want to do until they really are faced with like obstacles and hurdles, right? It's like if you're dealing with something in life, you realize that if you don't want to deal with it, you could just you could literally turn it back and walk away. The consequence is what's going to happen after. Whatever happens after is going to happen. But you always have the option to either spearhead your goals or walk away and take the L. And I always realized in life, I never try to take an L because I never turned around. I was like, fuck it. If I'm fighting somebody, I get punched in the mouth. Cool. I'm finna come give you another one. You feel me? You're going to give me one. And we just going to go at it until one of us give up. And I'm not giving up. So the point of life is you got to continuously hit your goals. You got to continuously stay consistent at it because you could be broke today. You could be rich tomorrow. You could be rich today. You could be broke tomorrow. And the only way that's going to continue, the only way that you're going to continue to actually elevate in life is if you're persevering through all the struggles, It was many times where I gave people advice where they didn't really know what they wanted to do. And at that time, when I was giving people advice, I didn't know what I would do. And it was kind of sad because I was giving people advice and I was telling them, like, listen, bro, you really that dude. Like, you need to do. And the whole time, I didn't even know what I was doing. And I had to sit back and I'm like, hold up. I know how to speak to people. I could convince people. I could sell. I need to get into something that's going to make me a lot of money fast. And I don't really got to worry about, like, the back end of it. And like I said, I started to get into real estate and I started to get into marketing and trucking and all that other stuff. But it was the fact that at one point I was very much lost. I was lost about my purpose. I was lost about my footing in this world. I was lost as a man. And the older and more mature I become, I'm understanding my purpose in life isn't to become like a dude who's going to show off, isn't going to be like who's going to like outshine somebody. I'm the dude who, if anybody knows me and if anybody who could like agree with me, I'm a real low-key guy. I'm real humble. I'm real quiet. I just kind of keep to myself. But I understand, like, my passion in life is to help others and to continuously move forward in life using my gifts. And it's been tremendous. It's been an amazing journey. Like I said, it wasn't easy. It wasn't sweet. I got to this point through a lot of healing, through a lot of self-reflection. And I understand that my purpose in life isn't to just go ahead and like talk on this podcast every day. My purpose in life is to give you guys what you need to hear and give the people in the outside world what they need to hear and continuously focus and grow myself as a man. So therefore I could be able to better teach others and lead other people, men and women. That's my purpose in life, leading people. And we constantly undermine our knowledge. I told somebody, it was a young lady, man, I was chopping up with her. She said that, somebody at her job was giving her a problem. And I'm like, she probably intimidated by you because you're young, you're beautiful, and she probably been there for like 20, 30 years, and she see you excelling, but this is your passion. This is probably not her passion. She probably got tired with it. She probably got tired of this job 10 years ago, and she here for 20 years. Of course, like she's not going to be feeling like all, peaches and cream when somebody else comes around and is doing her job and potentially could take her job. So when they're faced with people in an environment like that who feel like you're outworking them or outshining them, it's all insecurities on their end. Don't let their insecurities make you dim your light. Because a lot of times I knew the answers to a lot of questions. I knew a lot of answers to a lot of things that I knew in life, but I didn't want to outspeak or I didn't want to be too outspoken. Or I didn't want somebody to feel like I was smarter than them. And I obviously knew my position in a lot of people's lives were done. I came in, I taught you the lesson, and I helped you elevate, And at that point, my work here is done unless, God is obviously telling me to stay with you longer and whoever circle, friends, family, relationships, I'm going to stay longer. But the minute I feel like my lesson and the teachings I give you is done, I have to move on. And I do that in everything. I do that in relationships. I do that in friendships. And it's called outgrowing, your environment, your circle. And not everybody you outgrow. Some people is going to come with you. Some people you outgrow mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, and everything. And it's not saying like bad blood, but I'm just saying like once you become definite about your passion and you know where you want to go out in life and you know what you want, you're going to start aligning yourself with those resources. God is going to start putting you in places with those people that you said you want to be around. They're going to start coming around, and the people that is in your life already, he has to make room for those people to come in because you demanded that the passion that you have to be whatever you want to be at, it has to align with the people, the circle, the network, and the resources and the type of money you want to make, So it's going to be like a 360 in your life, and it's going to be uncomfortable. But that 360 that's going to be uncomfortable is going to show you everything that is meant to be in your life and is what not meant to be in your life. It's going to show you your strength. It's going to show you your weaknesses. It's going to show you your inner self. It's going to show you your outer self. And then you're going to constantly learn about, like, damn, I didn't really understand life until I started getting older. And you're going to understand, like, not everybody's meant to come on a journey because everybody has a different soul purpose to do. So the overall process and the understanding of, like, finding your passion is just being by yourself for a little bit, because solitude will bring the answers. And then not only that, not resisting change. The minute you resist change, you're just telling yourself you don't believe in yourself. You're telling yourself, nah, this ain't for me. Or you're not trusting yourself, wholeheartedly, which I tell people all the time, that's your biggest mistake. So at the end of the day, trust yourself, go into introspection, understand what you want to do with your life, understand that not everybody's going to have it solved in 1 day, 1 year, 1 month. It could take you a few years to finally solve what you want to do. But as long as you stay consistent, you chase that feeling, whatever feeling that makes you happy, doing whatever you do, that's the feeling you want to constantly feel every day when you wake up. So once again, you guys, I appreciate you guys for listening to Roll the Business podcast. Shout out to Mr. Daniels. He just dropped the Smart Capital Conversations podcast. Go check that out. Chris Daniels, 1887, produced by me, RTB Network. We about to do great things here at Roll the Business Network, man. I'm about to have more people under my podcast. So if you guys honestly just want to go ahead and learn different aspects about yourself, be sure to tap in on these other episodes, because I have a plethora amount of, like, episodes that may obviously relate to your situation, because, like I said, I'm a very transparent person and I'm not perfect. But at the end of the day, I am human. I am here to teach you guys that you can make your life change in a matter of years, in a matter of year. So once again, it's been an amazing journey. Subscribe, rate, and review. And if you guys have any more questions, be sure to send me a DM. Take care, guys, and have a great rest of the day.